Coming up on 5-Minute News. US regulators give full approval to Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. Taliban takeover prompts fears of a resurgence of al-Qaida. And Israel bombs Hamas sites in Gaza over fire balloons. It's Tuesday, August 24. I'm Anthony Davis. The US gave full approval to Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine on Monday, potentially boosting public confidence in the shots and instantly opening the way for more universities, companies, and local governments to make vaccinations mandatory. The Pentagon promptly announced it will press ahead with plans to force members of the military to get vaccinated amid the battle against the extra-contagious Delta variant. The University of Minnesota likewise said it will require its students to get the shot, as did Louisiana's major public universities, including LSU, and all New York City public school teachers and other staffers will also be mandated. More than 200 million Pfizer doses have been administered in the US under emergency provisions, and hundreds of millions more worldwide since December. In going a step further and granting full approval, the Food and Drug Administration cited months of real-world evidence that serious side effects are extremely rare. President Joe Biden said that for those who hesitated to get the vaccine until it received what he dubbed the gold standard of FDA approval, the moment you've been waiting for is here. Please get vaccinated today, he said. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla called the FDA's action an important milestone that I think will unlock some of the more skeptical minds. Pfizer said the US is the first country to grant full approval of its vaccine in a process that required a 360,000-page application and rigorous inspections. Never before has the FDA had so much evidence to judge a shot's safety. The formula, jointly developed with Germany's BioNTech, will be marketed under the brand name Comirnaty. Moderna has also applied to the FDA for full approval of its vaccine. Johnson & Johnson, maker of the third option in the US, said it hopes to do so later this year. Full approval of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine means it meets the very high standards required of all of the approved vaccines we rely on every day, said Dr. Jesse Goodman of Georgetown University, a former FDA vaccine chief. That should help anyone who still has concerns gain confidence in the shots. Just over half of the US population is now fully vaccinated. The lightning-fast changes in Afghanistan are forcing the Biden administration to confront the prospect of a resurgent al-Qaida, the group that attacked America on September 11, 2001. At the same time, the US is trying to stamp out homegrown violent extremism and cyber attacks from Russia and China. A June report from the UN Security Council said the group's senior leadership remains present inside Afghanistan, along with hundreds of armed operatives. It noted that the Taliban, who sheltered al-Qaeda fighters before the September 11 attacks, remain close based on friendship and a history of shared struggle, ideological sympathy, and intermarriage. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby acknowledged on Friday that al-Qaeda remains a presence in Afghanistan, though quantifying it is hard because of a reduced intelligence gathering capability in the country and because it's not like they carry identification cards and register somewhere. Even inside the country, al-Qaeda and the Taliban represent only two of the urgent terrorism concerns for Islamic State attacks against Americans in Afghanistan that over the weekend forced the US military to develop new ways to get evacuees to the airport in Kabul. The Taliban and IS have fought each other in the past, but the worry now is that Afghanistan could again be a safe harbor for multiple extremists determined to attack the US or other countries. Israeli warplanes bombed Hamas sites in Gaza in response to incendiary balloons launched from the Palestinian enclave that caused brush fires in southern Israel, its military said early on Tuesday. There were no immediate reports of casualties in the airstrikes that targeted what the military said was a weapons production facility and a rocket launch site belonging to Hamas, the Islamist group that rules Gaza. Since an Egyptian-mediated ceasefire halted 11 days of Israel-Hamas fighting in May, Gaza militants have sporadically sent balloons laden with incendiary material into Israel, drawing Israeli strikes on Hamas facilities. Palestinians say the balloons aim to pressure Israel to ease restrictions on Gaza and permit aid to reach the territory. Balloons launched Monday set off fires in Israeli fields along the Gaza border. Cross-border violence has spiked despite an Israeli announcement last week of a resumption of Qatari aid to Gaza, a move that had been seen as bolstering the fragile truce. Confronting Gaza protesters burning tires and throwing explosives along the border on Saturday, Israeli troops shot and wounded 41 Palestinians, critically injuring 2, medics said. Palestinian gunfire seriously wounded an Israeli soldier, the military said. Days before Saturday's violence, Gaza militants launched a rocket towards Israel that was shot down by its Iron Dome anti-missile system, in the first such rocket attack since the May 21st ceasefire. You can subscribe to 5-Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5-Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5-Minute News is an Evergreen Podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.